Hi guys, Robbie46 here and welcome yourselves to the race results and analysis from yesterday's MotoGP race at Phillip Island, and boy oh boy were we treated to a race of epic proportions. It was Marc Marquez who took pole position from Andrea Iannone and Jorge Lorenzo. Iannone and Lorenzo set exactly the same lap time, but Iannone was awarded the second place due to doing a faster second lap. And Valentino Rossi was down in 7th place off the grid. We've seen him win races from 7th place off the grid, but yeah, it was definitely going to be a tough ordeal. But off the line, it was Andrea Iannone who took the initial lead in the first lap, with Lorenzo slotting in second and Marquez in third. Rossi was a bit further back. He was behind both Cal Crutchlow and Pol Espargaro. And one of the talking points of the race happened in the first lap, coming to the end of the first lap. Andrea Iannone headbutted a seagull out the way. Yes, he headbutted a seagull. They're coming downhill for the tight right-hander, and there was a seagull in the track. It flew up into Andrea's face. He headbutted it down. He did headbutt it into his fairing, which did cause a hole to appear. It did make him go a bit wide, as you'd expect, headbutting a friggin' seagull. But that meant that Lorenzo took the lead off of Andrea Iannone going into the final couple of corners. But down the straight, that Ducati was bloody quick and soon got past Jorge Lorenzo, and as did Marc Marquez. That Honda's still quicker than Lorenzo, aided by the slipstream. He tried to get into the lead, but Andrea Iannone managed to take the lead. Lorenzo managed to outbrake Marquez and retake second place, and then sure enough, he managed to get back in front of Andrea Iannone, only for Iannone to do exactly the same a lap later down the straight, with Marc Marquez doing the same as well. Valentino Rossi eventually got past Cal Crutchlow and managed to get onto the back of the group. He got up to what was 4th place. Dani Pedrosa having a bit of a strange weekend, not qualifying that great. He was battling with Vinales and Crutchlow as well, and when Rossi was in 4th place with the leaders, a gap did appear back to 5th place, and we were set for a barnstormer. Lorenzo started to when he got past Iannone, he managed to start to make a gap, and it went up to about 1.5 seconds. Marquez got in front of Iannone, as did Valentino Rossi, and it looked Marquez had a bit of a weird race, because it looked like he was holding Rossi up. Lorenzo was in the 128s, and when Marquez was leading the pursuing group, they actually dropped into the 130s, which allowed Lorenzo to escape. Rossi got in front of Marquez and tried to close down Lorenzo, but Marquez and Iannone started battling with him as well. Marquez got back in front, and then Rossi was battling with Iannone for quite a few laps, and then all three of them started to close down Lorenzo again. Marquez pulled away a little bit from Rossi and Iannone, who were scrapping and slowing themselves down a little bit, having a battle. But Marquez just managed to reel Lorenzo in a bit, and then so did the other two. Marquez decided to take the lead, so he did. And Lorenzo stayed with him, and the other two caught back up, and it was a 4-way battle again. And it looked like Iannone was going to have another go on Lorenzo. And then we thought, oh, this is going to be right up Rossi's street. He's going to try and get Lorenzo, but Lorenzo decided to retake the lead and to try and go again, and he did. He managed to pull out about 0.5 second as the other three started battling again. A bit further down, you had Damien Cudlin on the Iota bike. He retired, and Nicky Hayden had a crash as well. Those are the only two non-finishers. Dani Pedrosa was making his way through the field up to 5th place. Cal Crutchlow was battling hard with Maverick Vinales and Pedrosa as well. Bradley Smith was battling with Scott Redding and trying to catch up to the Suzuki of Alicia Spargo and Paul Espargaro just in front of him. Back at the front, it looked like Lorenzo had got away as they started the penultimate lap, and Marquez was trying to get away from Rossi and Iannone, and he managed to, and on the last lap Marquez broke the lap record and set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap and caught Jorge Lorenzo, and in the same place where Iannone had his altercation with a seagull, he went up the inside of Lorenzo. Lorenzo tried to close the door but couldn't, and at the same time Rossi tried to do exactly the same move on Iannone but did run wide and allowed Iannone back past, and Marc Marquez took the win, and Lorenzo got second and Iannone got third. That Ducati is definitely quick down the straight. Iannone was getting out the last corner really well, and yeah, the Yamahas couldn't live with it. So yeah, Marc Marquez came home in first, Jorge Lorenzo second, and Andrea Iannone third. Valentino Rossi in fourth. Danny Pedrosa managed to hold off Maverick Vinales for fifth, but Maverick Vinales did get the better of Cal Crutchlow on the last lap to take sixth. Crutchlow was seventh. Paul Espargaro came home in eighth, with Alicia Spargo just behind him in ninth. Bradley Smith, not the best of weekends for him, in 10th. Scott Redding 11th. Danilo Petrucci 12th. Andrea Dovizioso didn't really have a great weekend either. He was struggling. I'm not entirely sure why, but he ended up in 13th place. Alvaro Bautista was 14th, and Jack Miller, top open class bike and taking the last point, came home in 15th. Hector Barbera was 16th. Yoni Hernandez, disappointing race for him, in 17th. Loris Baz 18th. Eugene Laverty 19th. Mike DeMaglio 20th. Stefan Bradl 21st. Tony Elias 22nd. And Anthony West on Cal Abraham's AB Motor Racing Honda in 23rd. So it was such a good race. If you haven't watched it, I urge you just to go and watch it. It was an awesome race. Marquez did take that extra 5 points off of Lorenzo, but again, he took some points off of Rossi. So at the end of that race, the lead of Rossi's was cut from 18 points down to 11. It's Malaysia Sepang this weekend. It's definitely, yeah, the last couple of races are going to be epic, I think. I mean, this race was epic, and I think it's definitely going to go down to Valencia. I know that Rossi won't want it to, because obviously he doesn't like the place doesn't like him. But I mean, Rossi could win the title at Malaysia if Lorenzo has a DNF or just has a really bad result. I don't think that's very likely, but if Rossi had a DNF, then Lorenzo can't take the title, because obviously he's got to make up those 11 points first. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and with Marquez back to winning ways. Pedrosa likes Malaysia, but it depends what kind of mood he's in. He wasn't in the best race of his life at Phillip Island, despite coming off the back of two of the best rides he's had in a long time. Andrea Iannone's probably up for it as well. We got a couple of straights at Malaysia that I'm sure the Ducati will do well going down. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, and obviously the weather in Malaysia is really unpredictable. 1 minute it can be sunny, the next minute it could be pissing down with rain, so that might play a part, but we'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. One thing I forgot to say as well, Yamaha took the Constructors title this weekend as well, so yeah, Honda won't be winning anything in the Premier class this year. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more content. I shall see you guys in the next video. See you.